Had no idea why it turned off. Though I do know how to fix it now. You have to take the cache in YouTube and clear it, and then restart your phone, and that seems to have fixed it. Of course, maybe it did it again today. I don't know. I haven't checked. Anyway, it's the 3rd of July here in the Philippines, and I'm going to continue my series on building a house here. So today, I want to talk about putting in a well some more. And adding a well, I kind of did this the other day, but I don't think anybody heard it, so we're going to start over. We have 3 wells on our property. We have one in the house underneath the bed downstairs. That's our house water well. We have a well in the garden, which is the garden well. And then we have one in the well house. That's for filling the swimming pool and the fish pond. Now, everybody doesn't need 3 wells. And you can always get city water. You can always get city water here. City water is kind of reliable, kind of expensive, and you can't drink it. So you might as well have your own well. To put a well in, the well diggers that dig the well by hand, literally by hand with a shovel, they go down 35 feet or whatever, charge about $12,000 pesos, which is about $800. Is that right? 12, 10. Oh no, what am I saying? It's about $200. $800. I'm stupid. That's about $200, give or take. And they literally dig it with a shovel. They dig, they drop a ring, they dig, they drop a ring. Just kind of watched. It took 2 days to put our 35-foot deep one in. The other way they do it is they stand a tripod out of bamboo that's about 30 feet tall. It's got a pulley at the top, and they hoist up part of a railroad tire, and they beat a pipe down in the ground, 3-inch piece of steel pipe. And when they get it down about 2 feet off the ground, then they shove an air hose down in it and pump water in it. And they pump the water and air down in there until all of the sediment and dirt that's inside that hole comes out. And then they do it again. And they continue doing this until they get down 35 or 40 feet or whatever. Mine's 40 out there. And then they put all the pieces together, put a hand pump well pump on the top, and all the fittings so you can hook up a irrigation pump. And again, it costs about the same, to about 12 to 14,000. It was only 10 when we did it, but that was a few years ago. But they haven't gone up much. Oh, excuse me, long night. Do I think you need a well? Yeah. I think everybody should have a well at their house. There's absolutely no doubt. Dog break. Shut up. Go, 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 go. It's my alarm system. I know somebody just came on the property. I just happen to know who it is, so my wife. Oh wait, it's what time? It's about 7:30. I think it's my brother-in-law. All right. 12 dogs. They don't bother me, but they bother everybody around here. But nobody comes onto my property, not without me knowing it anyway. There we go. Now they're quiet, kinda. So that's outside. Belgian Malinois, Huskies, and Husky Belgian Malinois mix. In the house, that's the dachshund. That's the little loudest fucker I got. Hey, come on. Hey. La la la. I should go into another room, but you guys just got to put up with the dog. Sorry. Anyway. You do need a well, there's no doubt. Even if it's just for a garden, you don't want to use city water. Now, city water you can get. Hi, Piggy boy. You can get something that is irrigation water through the city, which is also pumped in, by the government or the city or this whatever it is. Again, it's pretty expensive, but it's not as expensive as house water. But it's still pretty high. Nobody uses it to do the rice fields because it's just way ridiculously high. Here, everybody uses like what we have in our well house is a 3-inch diesel pump, and it fills up my fish pond. It'll raise the fish pond up about a foot and fill my empty pool up in about 2 hours. Moves a buttload of water. So that's definitely, if you're going to build a house here, that's something you need to consider, is whether or not you want to have a well. If you have, you can pretty much put a well on any piece of property. It doesn't make any difference if you're in the city. As long as you had your property, you can do whatever you want. They don't regulate it that way. You can have a well on any piece of land here, as far as I know, which is kind of handy because having a well is definitely the best. And most Filipino women want a hand pump, like you see back in the old cowboy movies. They're all over here, and even my wife in our beautiful home, she would love to have one of those where she could get to it. We have one in the well house. Oh, excuse me. The well house, we have to use it to prime the diesel pump because it pumps the water up 30 feet out of the well, and then so the well pump will do it, but it's just too hard on it to run a dry pump like that. So that's something you guys all need to consider. Is it worth having? It is absolutely worth having. I mean, we use our well pumps. The well pump, I've got it so I can use it for irrigating the banana fields. I've got it so I can fill the fish pond. It fills the pool. It fills the jacuzzis. It fills the koi tanks. So everything gets, the well that's the way to go. Now with our other two, the well in the garden has a little submersible pump, which is more than we need out there. And just for the garden hoses is all it does. If you buy garden hoses here, don't get 1/2-inch ones. So I did. It was a big mistake. You need 3/4 or 5/8 ones. They're harder to find. They're more expensive, but well worth it. They have the ability to move some water, where the little 1/2-inch ones, you have no water pressure and you have no water. It's just stupid. But when I replace the hoses, I'll replace them with bigger hoses. We also have solar equipment on this roof just to heat the jacuzzi. This one. It's my own design. It's just black tubing coiled up. It gets the jacuzzi up to about 104 degrees if I leave it, if I'm not paying attention to it. So that definitely works. There's no doubt. What else? Electricity here. It's all 220, but it's only 2-wire 220, not like in the U.S. where we have 3-wire 220. Here it's only 2-wire. You have 220 and a neutral. That's all. But it still shocks the piss out of you. Let me tell you, I've been hit by it a couple of times. I don't know why I'm so tired. Maybe because I only slept 3 hours last night. Could be the reason, huh? Oh, we're sitting in the living room a little while ago, and my house is open everywhere, as you can see. We have no walls and windows. And we saw a rat climb down the wall and disappear, so it's a big one. The rats are a foot long, so I have rat traps. We'll put a rat trap out tonight, catch them, which is cool. I don't mind at all because my snakes love eating the rats. It's totally fine. They'll eat a rat that's over a foot long easily. So we catch rats, they go in the snake cage. Nothing goes to waste. Something else you want to do when you build a house is you want to make sure that all of your rain gutters do something. There's a lot of rain during the typhoons. Our rain gutters fill up the swimming pool, they fill up the koi tanks, and they fill up the fish pond. That's all natural rainwater that we get for free. We don't have to pump it out with the diesel. We don't have to use electricity. It just fills them. In a good rainstorm, it'll fill up my swimming pool about 6 inches. So that's kind of handy. What else? I'm trying to think of more about the wells that I can tell you. I think that's about it. I think this is going to be kind of a short video, but the thing is I'm just doing a series on building houses. So that's that. Really, if you have any questions about putting a well in or doing the wells, most of the area, remember, this is a jungle. And so everywhere there is water, almost everywhere underground here. We have a river that runs underneath all the properties here in the rice fields. So you can dig a hole any place, you're going to have water. There's no fucking around with that. There's water everywhere. So, okay, that's it. I'm going to jump off of this one. I'm glad it works. I'm going to check and make sure that it did work. Hi, Diana. You guys, if you watched the video, please give me a thumbs up. Oh, I see a thumbs. I got 2. And sub the channel if you haven't already. It's nice to get subs when I do these lives, even the short ones. Yeah, you know, living in the Philippines is a lot different than living in the U.S. in the way that you live. I mean, day to day. I mean, you know, we still got the stores, the Starbucks, the McDonald's, and all that bullshit, but the day-to-day life here, it's a lot slower. If you want fast, I mean, you could move to Makati, or you can move to, you know, one of the American tourist expat communities. Why would anybody want to move from the United States, move here, and then move in with a bunch of idiots? I just don't get that. But they like it, I guess. I think what it is they feel like they're in a cheap United States. So they're not getting any of the Philippine culture. It's just sad. And then, you know, it's just, there's a couple of guys on here. If you guys watch these videos about the Philippines, I can't even watch some of them. They're just so disgustingly nasty. I swear to God. Just disgusting. I watched a few minutes of one guy, and I watch him periodically. I'll go in and out watching him. He's just fucking disgusting, man. So, can't do it. And there's a lot of guys that just tell you a bunch of lies about living here, too. That's another one. Guys, if you and with that, I'm going to let y'all go. What's it like when a storm comes in with no walls? Nothing. We got concrete house. The floor gets wet. Here you can see, look, here, I'll show you. See all the front open? There's no windows, no walls, no anything, just the roof. But the floor, there's a merry-go-round. It's all tile. And we have drains. I put drains in it. So when it rains, if we got a big storm going in, the rain comes in the house. It doesn't hurt anything. It just gets the floor wet, drains itself out, and keeps the floor cleaner for us. You know, we have squeegees. We have a couple squeegees and stuff. So if it rains, my wife will go and throw a little soap on the floor, scrub it off, and, you know, dump it through the drains. And the soap we use is some biodegradable shit that when it goes in the grass gets greener. So it works okay. Yeah, we wanted the natural ventilation. We didn't want we have no air conditioning in this part of the house. Only in the bedrooms. So if you're anywhere else, you're in the natural air. But if the wind's blowing just a little bit, it stays nice and cool. And we got fans. You don't really need the air conditioner. It's nice. I like sleeping in the cold. So, and my wife, she's spoiled too. She likes it also. And my daughter, they're all turn on the aircon in the bedrooms. All right, guys, I'm going. Sub the channel, buy me a coffee, thumb me up, and enjoy your day. And I'll be back around noon.